Every community has its black sheep. And I'm also aware that there are black sheep in the Muslim community. What does the media do? The media picks up the black sheep of the Muslim community and they portray as though they're exemplary Muslims. Because of this today, we find that most of the people think that Islam promotes terrorism. If you read the Quran, if you read the sayings of the Prophet, Islam amongst all the religions is at the foremost in condemning the killing of innocent human beings. And one such prey of the media, of these media tactics, was myself. 8 months back, in the 4th week of June 2010, I was supposed to give a series of talks in UK. I was supposed to give a talk in the Wembley Arena in Wembley, London, in LG Arena, NEC Birmingham, as well as Sheffield Arena in Sheffield. All these venues had a capacity of 10 to 15,000 people, and these are prestigious venues. Just 3 weeks before my lecture tour, there was an article which came in one of the leading newspapers, that is Sunday Times. Sunday Times, it gave an article, Muslim preacher of hate let into Britain. And this article, it gave portions of my speeches, which were either quoted out of context or they were misquoted. And it portrayed me as a preacher of hate, a person who promotes terrorism. And the next couple of days, the same article was picked up, rehashed, and reprinted in many of the newspapers of UK. Not only newspapers of UK, but newspapers internationally, including the newspapers of India. Unfortunately, these articles inspired the Home Secretary of UK, Theresa May, to pass an exclusion order on the 16th of June 2010. After reading these articles and hearing some clips from the YouTube, which were again either out of context, and there were portions which were manipulated. Based on these YouTube clips and the media report, the Home Secretary of UK, on 16th of June 2010, she passed an exclusion order against me. And the next day, 17th of June, the Deputy High Commissioner of Britain in Bombay, on the 17th of June, they revoked and cancelled my visa. I had a valid 5 years multiple entry visa to UK, which was issued on the 15th of July 2008, valid till 15th of July 2013. I've been coming to UK since the past 20 years. I've come several times, and for lecture tours several times. I had a valid multiple entry 5 years visa, which had come twice before, in 2008, 2009, which was cancelled without giving me a fair hearing. I think this is an attack on freedom of expression as well as on human rights. Charles Farr, who is the Director General of the Office of Security and Counterterrorism, he was not in favor of this exclusion order. And he wanted me to reach to those Muslims who he felt the government could not reach. But the Home Secretary, ignoring the advice of her senior most security advisor, she went ahead with the exclusion order. And later on, a few weeks later, she even suspended one of the advisors under Charles Farr who supported me. I personally have more faith in the judicial system rather than the political system of my country, India, as well as the country of UK. We did a judicial review and took it to the High Court. Though the Home Secretary said I have no right to file under human rights because I'm a non-UK citizen, Justice Cranston said, and he reviewed it, and he said that he can file a case. And he passed a judgment and said that the first 3 decisions of the Home Secretary on 16th of June, 17th of June, and the 27th of June, all 3 were unlawful. But however, later on in the month of August 2010, when they gave additional information, he said that this is lawful, which is not logical. I have faith in the judicial system. we have filed for an appeal against the last judgment of the High Court, and I have full faith that inshallah, very shortly, this exclusion order would be reversed by the Court of Appeal. I hope in future I may have the chance to meet the Home Secretary Theresa May personally and explain to her the peaceful message of Islam and remove any misconception about Islam or any of my lecture that she may have. I would have personally preferred to come personally in the Oxford Union and give this talk and have a lively question and answer session rather than the satellite. Last month, I had gone to France. I was in Paris. We had a board meeting of our trust, Islamic Research Foundation International, which is based in UK, as well as Universal Broadcast Limited. Because I could not come to UK, I called the board members to Paris, and I was shocked. Normally, the world feels that France is more strict against Islam than UK. But when I applied for visa, I got it within 1 hour. And we had the board meeting there. I'd prefer having it in UK, but because of the exclusion order, which I feel the Court of Appeal very shortly will reverse it. And though the world may think that because of the exclusion order, it is an attack on freedom of expression. But I would like to thank the Oxford Union that even though an exclusion order has been passed on me, yet they permitted this debate or this lecture for the question and answer session. I would like to thank the Oxford Union, especially the president, Mr. James Langman, for being bold and agreeing to have this lecture. The Oxford Union may or may not agree with my speech. They may like my talk or may not like my talk. What I appreciate is that they are really people who promote freedom of expression.